Good afternoon, Hope RX agents. Hope everybody is doing well out there. My name is Kevin Banta. Some of you have met with me, some of you haven't. Just want to introduce myself and get on with the webinar. I'm going to try to get you off here by 2 o'clock. Sometimes I tend to go long, so I'll try to cut it short. If you could do me a favor and grab a pen and paper if you haven't already, just in case you have any questions. We want to make sure that every question is answered. Really good to have the questions on the calls. That way everybody gets the answer. Some people don't like to ask the question, so when someone else does, it's usually 3 or 4 people that want that same answer. We do have a lot of people on the call from all over the U.S., so I want to thank you guys for getting on this call, and hope you learned something here today. So I'm just going to start by showing the transaction report. Hope you all checked out your transaction report, which did come out on the 20th. It does come out on the 5th and the 20th every single month. So the report that just came out on the 20th was for the first 15 days of July. I'm going to show you a report here. I try to do the best I can to make sure that we don't show a bunch of people's names and things. So I'm going to show you just an example of an agent here, their transaction report. Hold on one second here. All right. So this agent here has got a transaction report. Okay, this is what you would see on your back office when you log on. Obviously, you're going to get all the columns here. I've blocked out some of the columns just to try to conserve the agent's privacy here on their transactions. All right. So if you look here, you're going to see. Let me go to the top. Go to the top of the transaction report. You're going to see the dates that the transaction report is from. This projection report is from 8/1 to 8/15. Every 15 days, a new report hits your back office. You are going to see, now I've made some of these columns smaller here, first of all, so it'll fit on one page, and also to protect the agents, all their locations that they have transactions in. But you'll have your agent number right here. You'll have your pharmacy ID, which is no big deal. Your pharmacy name, again, we're going to give you all the information. You're going to get the actual name of the pharmacy that the transaction happened in. The pharmacy address will be right here. Okay, again, I just want to hide the some of the information for the agent here so they don't get mad at me. The pharmacy city that it was in. This agent's got transactions obviously all over the country. You can see the cities and state that the agent has transactions in. Pharmacy zip code, so you literally get the incomplete mailing address of the pharmacy. Now you get the retail cost, the RX cost with our card, retail cost, percent of savings, and there's a couple other things in here that I think I smashed down here. They're not that important, the ones that are not there. We're missing an H there, but and the percent of savings, the drug name, and the date, okay, that the transaction happened on. Now, obviously, if you're brand new on this call, you want to get a transaction every day. That's your first goal, because if you get a transaction every day, guess what? You're making money every day, okay? Obviously, this agent does have transactions every day. If you see right here on the right-hand side, you're going to have the transaction date. This one here starts 8/1, because that's when the report starts, and it's going to run down to 8/15, okay? Now, this is a nice size report here for an agent. But you can judge your business by looking at your transactions per day. You want to get yourself up to a couple hundred transactions a day when you're brand new. Okay, so this agent's got transactions all the way down to the 15th. And let's see here. We are 855. Okay, not bad. Now, to get to this location on your back office, you're going to go online to your personal website, okay? On the top of the address bar is when you have to type in your HOPE number. You've got to type in a backslash and a HOPE and 2283, whatever that is, whatever your number is, okay? Once you do this, you're going to go to the bottom and click on Agent Login. Now it's going to ask you for your password that you already set up, okay? You type that in. You're going to get to your back office where it's going to show your projection reports, your totals report, okay, and your payout report in case you have people that you've signed up underneath you. You'll see all those reports. Once you open up the Excel file, this is what the report looks like. Okay? All right. Now, those reports, like I said, do come out the 5th and the 20th, so we just had one come out. All the transactions, you're going to get paid about 18 to 24 days in the arrears. What I mean by that is all of July's transactions, the month of July, agents are getting paid on yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Okay, there's about a 3-day window that all the payouts go out. Okay, and it happens typically in between the 17th and the 25th of the month. Your direct deposit will hit. So everyone's getting paid. Some people got paid yesterday. Some people are getting paid today. Okay, that's for July's transactions. The report that I just showed you from August, that's not going to be paid until September. Okay, so after the month closes, your direct deposit hits about anywhere from 17 to 24 days later. Okay, it'll be direct deposited right into your account. Now, we have a lot of people on the call that have been doing some recruiting. Okay, doing a great job. Some of you are doing it full time, some of it part time, some adding an agent's fee here, here and there. To build a huge RX team, first off, you got to be doing it all the time. If you're recruiting, if you're just recruiting friends, family, and people, associates that are in your business, that's different. The people that are out there actually recruiting blindly, whether they're posting ads, whether they're running newspaper ads, whatever they're doing, to grow a huge RX team, you've got to be consistent at it. Okay? When you do place any kind of ads, you've got to make sure you include your 4-digit number. Okay? Because when they watch the video, at the end of the video, it tells everyone to get that 4-digit code. So they've got to make sure, you have to make sure that whatever you're doing marketing-wise to bring new agents to the company, you've got to have your 4-digit code plastered all over that. So when they reply back, they'll have that code. Okay? Most of you are doing a great job at that. We get some people, some stragglers that don't have a code, so we try to locate the agent that recruited them. But some of you are doing really good. Some of you have a couple hundred agents that you have recruited to the company, which is great. The best way to lead new agents, if you do know them, is with an example. Some of you on this call are bringing on other associates. The best way to build a business is show them how you're building. Okay. The managers that we're looking for, that is our first test as a manager, is can you drive personal transactions? Are you out there generating transaction? Is your style that you're generating them from duplicatable? That's very important, especially if you want to train other agents. You've got to have a style that's duplicatable so they can do what you're doing. Okay? Now let's look here at a few marketing ideas. We're going to talk about at the end of the call here how to get your card worth more money, and also training others. But look here, some of you have this PDF file. Comes in your starter kit, but basically it's over 70 different ideas on how to market your business. You guys, this business can be done a million different ways. Most of you I've spoken to on the phone. A lot of you have some great ideas on how to build this business, some ideas we've never heard of. There's a million ways to do it. Go through this flyer here and find 5 to 10 different ways that you're comfortable with building the business, and just do a lot of it. Don't do something that you're not comfortable with, okay? Because the business is not going to become fun. You got to make this business fun. You've got to always keep in mind that we only get paid when you help somebody save money. That's the only time we get paid. So that is an awesome business to be in. But you want to look at all the different ideas there, you guys, especially some of you are dealing with your churches, your local churches. School's back in session. Great time to hit up the school for fundraising opportunities. All schools are looking for fundraising. Schools are looking for fundraising. PTAs. If you're a member of the PTA, just suggest it. Hey, we have an RX card that generates fundraising opportunities. And here's how it works. When you sign up a nonprofit organization, a company, anyone who's looking to generate income, first of all, you have to have your starter kit to do this. Most of you on the call do have your starter kit. But once you find a nonprofit organization, a church, a school, somebody who wants to generate fundraising opportunities, they get $1 per transaction. Okay? It's not your dollar. It's theirs. Your card, it's a total separate card, okay? Some people get confused on this, on how you sign up a nonprofit. They get their own card because they want to make the money. So what happens is we give them $1. They are on a fixed contract. It's not variable like yours. It's fixed. So what happens is they get the dollar. Now you have a business builder account that's anywhere from 10 cents all the way to 50 cents. So you're automatically making an override on all their transactions. Okay, so they have their own card. In fact, we have some churches. The churches don't even have cards. They just print the card in their bulletin. So, you know, those of you who have been to church, you get the bulletin every time you walk in, and there's a card printed right in that bulletin so people can just cut it out. Okay? If you're dealing with your local school, they're always looking for fundraising. Those of you who have kids in school right now, you know it's went back to school time already. They're trying to raise money with these box tops. This is a national campaign nationwide. Box tops. You guys understand that each box top that you give to the school receives 10 cents? That is a very small amount of money to be raised on box tops. I know my daughter's local school collected, I don't know, 18,000 of them or something. But the money is minimal. You have an opportunity, and I guarantee you 60% of the school's family is on medications. Okay, the government tells us 60 to 80% of America is on a med a month. If you're over 65, it's 80%. If you're under 65, it's 60%. So 60% of the people that are going to school there are taking medications, and the other 40% know somebody who's taking a medication. Everybody on this call knows people that are taking meds. So you get this RX card out to the school, and they start passing it out, or they put it in their bullets, or they send it home with their kids, or they use it when they're paying their baseball games, or whatever they're doing. This is generating income for the school, and it's a lot, and it builds quickly. You figure if the school just gets 500 transactions, that's $6,000 the school can spend in the next school year, because it's 500 a month. Your transactions will not go away. Those of you who have been on the call that have been with us for a while, I'm going to show some reports here, some agents that are really making an impact, but you know the transactions don't go away. The people that are using your card right now, today, and yesterday, they're only using that card for one reason and one reason only, and that's because they're saving money. If somebody is filling a medication for the last 4 years and it was $82 and now it's $22, trust me, they're going to use that card every single month. They're never going to stop using that card. Okay? So when a school starts building it, or any nonprofit starts building up their card, their residual card, it's not going away. Okay? That is the power of residual income, and that's the beauty of being in the prescription industry, which has been around for hundreds of years, and people are filling more prescriptions today in this country than ever before. 4 billion were filled last year. The number this year will exceed that, and the opportunity is endless. Okay, a lot of people talk about, well, this is the marketing good in my areas, or people, you know, it's too many agents in my area. You guys, 4 billion prescriptions were filled, and we don't even have a 6% market share yet. Okay. Currently with the PBM, what we're contracted with, we're doing about 500,000 prescriptions a week, which is really nothing compared to the 4 billion that are filled in the United States. Okay? So if you don't have your starter kit yet, I know most of you do on this call, but if you don't, send me an email. Click on the bottom of any of my emails, and you get your starter kit, which you get these flyers and some more. Okay? Now, let's see here. Let's talk about a typical week real quick before we get into other things. And I have a guest on the call here, but a typical week with our company is, some people are doing this full-time, some people are doing this part-time. Okay? If you have another career, totally understandable, especially if you're brand new with our company, you're not going to be able to do this full-time. But some agents have built their income up to full-time income. They're out working the business every single day, just like they would for, you know, somebody else. Some of you have employers that you go to work for every single day. So once you get this thing built up, that's your choice to do this full time or not. So I'm going to have Dan Randino, an agent of ours. Some of you have probably seen his YouTube post about his doctors. I'm going to have him speak real quickly about a typical day, his typical day, and what he does on a normal day. Okay, Dan, are you on the call? Is Dan there?
I'm here, Kevin. Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Great.
Go ahead if you don't mind. Just I know that you usually get an early start in the morning, try to get back early in the afternoon. But if you could just tell the folks here on the call what a typical day is like for you, and how many doctors you hit, and what you say, and how you go back to the doctors you've already been to.
Okay, sure. Well, first off, I want to welcome everybody. It's a pleasure to speak with you all. Basically, my day starts at about 8:30, 9 o'clock. I try to get to my first doctor's office by about 9 o'clock. That's normally when they open. If they're open a little bit earlier, they get some time to get their pre-day work out of the way. And I'll just walk in, and if it's a repeat call, I will just say hi to the front counter person and say I'm just here, on a follow-up call, checking up on you to see if you need any more cards for the next couple of months. If it's a brand new doctor, I'm going to introduce myself, explain to them that I am just there to drop off prescription discount cards for them, that the cards are free, they never expire, they work at all major pharmacies, and I explain to them I will be back to visit them in the next couple of months and just ask them how many cards they think they would need for the next month or two. Normally it's about 25, 50 cards per doctor's office. I try to visit approximately 25 to 35 doctor's offices a day. And I do this 5 days a week. What happens normally is I will try to locate a large medical building and try to hit every doctor's office on every floor of that building. The problem arises when it comes lunchtime, and most doctor's offices close between 12 and 2 for the doctors to go do their rounds in the local hospitals. At that time, I will spend my time, I'll take a short lunch break myself, but then I will then use that 2-hour window to go out to the local pharmacies and explain to them who I am, introduce myself, what I'm doing, what Hope is all about, and explain that I am going to the different doctors in the area and giving cards to them, which is going to then bring them business and push their sales up. So I'll spend about an hour and a half doing that, going to different pharmacies, and then also going to the small businesses, whether they're small restaurants or nail salons or hair salons or UPS stores. I go to a lot of self-employed businesses because they normally don't have insurance, or their employees don't have insurance, and they're more apt to use our cards. After each doctor's call, I record the day I was there, how many cards I gave them. Of course, if they're a new doctor, I'm going to record their name, their address, and who my contact person is. That way I can keep track of where I need to be 2 months down the road. That's pretty much a normal day for me. I'll work from maybe 8:30 in the morning to about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Again, after lunch, it's 2 or 3 hours after they get back from their breaks. I also spend a couple days a week doing some recruiting. Just to help build my team up also. It doesn't take a whole lot of time. It doesn't cost a whole lot of money. And it just it increases the business a little bit, and hopefully we can get more people saving more money. When there are times, I do want to tell you that, when I do go to a pharmacy, if they have done a number of transactions for me, I will bring in my report and show them and thank them for their business and show them how much money they're saving according to my reports. And when I thank them for the business, they get a big grin on their face, and they're very thankful that I'm thanking them for their business. That builds my rapport with them, and usually I will get more transactions out of them down the road. So that's pretty much all it is. Again, it's a 6-7 hour day. I'm going to the doctors. I'm greeting them. If it's a repeat call, I just refill how many cards they have in my card holders. If it's a new call, and I try to pick up 4 to 5 doctors a day if I can. I may have missed them the first time I was in the building. Maybe they were out on vacation, something like that. So I'll try to pick up 4 or 5 doctors a day, and just build my business as it goes. So that's pretty much a pretty simple way of doing it. Is there anything else that
That'll
you
do
want
it.
to cover, Kevin?
That'll do it, Dan. I appreciate it.
Cool.
One thing about Dan that you guys don't know is he's extremely organized, and I mean over the top. He can tell you at any given 15-day report which pharmacies had the biggest increase, where they're at, and he can almost tell you where they came from, the transactions. That's how organized most of his spreadsheets are. So It's very good to keep good records for yourself, you guys, if you're going to work an aspect of the business like Dan does where you're dealing with doctors. You want to always follow up with your doctors. You don't want to just walk in, drop off cards, and walk out. You want to try to talk to them like, as much as you can while you're there, but you also want to try to build a relationship. There's nothing wrong with face-to-face in this business, because I'll tell you what, when a patient leaves the doctor's office and saves $40, $50 on a medication, that doctor's getting that positive feedback. It's not you. You're not going to hear from that patient. That patient's going to go back into the doctor's office and say, "Doctor, my gosh, my medication was $61, and with this card you gave me today, it's only $41. Thank you so much." So now when you come back in after the doctor hearing that 10 to 15 times in 2 to 3 weeks, you come back in, now the doctor's got a different perspective about what you're doing in his office. Okay, so keep that in mind. And again, that's one aspect of our business, okay, is what Dan does. That's one aspect of our business, building with doctors. Some of you have gotten the doctor's list. We can give you a list of the 250 closest doctors to your home address or whatever address you give us. I can get you a list. It's on the bottom of my email. You can click on that and get that list if you want that list. So you can personally walk into the doctors. You can also do mailings. Okay, I'm going to show some accounts in a bit here to show you some agents that are out there with this. I just want to touch on the flyers real quick. This was a long time coming, and I apologize it took so while. We are extremely busy here, you guys. As you know, the prescription industry is growing every single day. And our agent base is growing every single day. So we try to get to everybody that we can. We try to get all the ideas out there. Again, most of our best ideas, you guys, come from you all. Comes from the field force. But what we've done is allowed you all to get company letters. If you bought the starter kit, you're going to get the generic ones that come with it. They're nice. They're PDFs, but they're colorful. You guys wanted stuff that you could photocopy and get out there. So what we've done is we put everything back in black and white and allowed them to be customizable. Okay, if you look here, this is somebody's website here, RX Card Hope, should be a .com there, but everything is now customizable. Okay, so if you want your own flyers with your own information on it, let me show a couple more here real quick. You can do that. Okay, this is somebody's card. Let's see, this is the fundraising card, 2630. This is an agent that probably just got them made here recently. But this is strongprescriptions.com. It's an agent of ours. Got their own personal 800 number on there. This is the fundraising letter that we have. So all these letters can now be customized with your name, or excuse me, with your website. If you bought a domain name, if you haven't, you don't need one. You can just use the hoperxcard.com /hope. Doesn't matter as long as they get to your site. But some people do go out and buy domain names. And once you buy a domain name, we can put it on your cards for you, on your flyers. Also your email address and your personal phone number. So then you will handle all the customer service calls. Now, you don't have to do that, okay? A lot of our agents don't. They don't want to take the calls. Our phone literally rings 24/7, okay? There's never an hour that the phone doesn't ring. I don't care if it's 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning. People are calling because they're filling prescriptions. They have questions. They saw something on the internet. They got a card. Something out there spiked them to give us a call. If you don't want to handle those, you can leave our phone number on it. But if you want to take those calls, you're welcome to. We will put your number on there. So you receive those calls. And again, on the bottom of my email, you can click on that and get the 4 flyers with your personal info. When you do get those flyers, please email me your phone number that you want on the card, your website, even if it's your hoperxcard.com /hope2525, whatever your number is, and your email address. We need all 3 of those things to get the cards, the flyers processed and get back to you. And just give us 24 to 48 hours to get those back to you. We've been extremely busy. So most of you have gotten those flyers, and you know the turnaround time's been pretty decent. Okay, so let me show you some growth here. Let me show you a few agents here making an impact. Some of them are on the call now. Let me start off by an agent that. Let me start off with Richard. Richard's on the call. I know. I called him to make sure I can get permission to show his reports, but I've blanked out as much as I possibly can so you can see the transactions. Richard's been with us for a while, decided to get serious with his business here lately. But if you look, this is an April report, 4/1 to 4/15. Okay, this is his April report. Again, I've shut this down quite a bit, so you can see the cities that he's in and the states that he's in, the drugs and the dates. Okay, so if you just scroll down here, scroll to the bottom, he's got 172 transactions. Okay, this is 4/1. This is April 1st, right around Easter time. He's looking at about 172 transactions. Okay. So let's fast forward here 120 days later, on 8/1, Richard decided to get serious about his business, and he did some marketing, got some cards out there, and he's growing his business. And he's still growing his business. If you can see this thing scrolling down here, if you can see the dates here. And he's still growing. And you come to the bottom of the report here, and he went from 172 transactions, I think that report said, to 471. Huge growth. We're probably close to 300% growth on his account in literally 120 days. I believe Richard is retired and came to our company a while back, but doing a fantastic job. I know he's on the call now, so congratulations, Richard. You're doing a great job. Keep up the good work, and again, you guys, when you've got 471 transactions, keep in mind, you guys, this is a 15-day report. Okay, this 471, the next report will usually increases about 20% on average, if not more. So he's going to be looking at month-wise for August, right around 1,000 transactions. Could be a little higher, maybe 1,100 transactions for the month. And remember, on 4/1, he was looking at the 172 times 2, so he's looking at close to 300 on the other report. So it went from 300 to over 1,000. So again, great job. Again, the more transactions, yeah, you make more money. That's obvious. But the more people you're helping save. And again, no one uses your card unless you have them saving money. There's no reason for someone to use your card because they like you or they want to pay more for their meds. They're only using it because you're helping them save money. So great job, Richard, on helping a lot of people out there save some money. Look at, I didn't get permission from this agent, so I'm just going to call it Agent X here. But this is an agent who made a decision, and I'll tell you, this is, what month was this here? This is 5/1. It's 90 days ago. This is May 1st through May 15th. 90 days ago. It's actually a local agent here in our Los Angeles office. Agent came into the office and decided to do something what we call buy up, which I'll briefly go into at the end of this call here. But this agent bought their card up. They didn't want to get paid 75 cents anymore. They wanted the biggest card they could possibly buy. Okay, so they bought what we call a $2 card, which I'll show you in a second. But they had 89 transactions when they made this decision. Okay, very small amount of transactions. 89 transactions is barely one. What is that? 3 a day. Okay, 90 transactions would be 3 a day. So now, May 1, May 15, 90 transactions are 89. Okay. 90 days later, after making a mental decision to build the business and a financial decision to build the business, because I'll show you what I mean by buying up, 8/1, 312. Okay? This is 90 days, you guys. The number here may not look like a lot, 312 times 2. You're looking at about 750 transactions with the growth, maybe 800 for the month of August. But when you have 800 transactions on a $2 card, you just made $1,600 90 days after making, she made 89 transactions at 75 cents times 2, so she was making, literally not even $200, and goes from that to doubling this to making about $1,400. So great job to this agent. It's a gal. She knows who she is. Most of her transactions are local. You can see this. They're all in California. Which does mean that this agent is physically visiting doctors, locations all over. Okay? So great job to that agent. Now, here is a college student that we speak about from time to time, doing a great job, does the business quite different than a lot of people. Agent's 21 years old, started with our company a while back, in college full-time, so tries to do the business when he can, but he found out that you can actually make some pretty good income even being a college student doing this business. Remember, a lot of ways this business can be done. This agent happens to do everything in the mail. Okay? When you're doing things in the mail, some of you have bought in that list of 250 local doctors. Instead of walking in, this agent's 21 years old, so this agent mails. Okay? The doctors get the letter in the mail about the medical professional letter. They get the cards in the mail. Okay? He sends cards with his letter right to the doctor's office. You can get away with about 8 cards and a letter for the 1 stamp. And you build your list. Okay? You keep track of where you're sending to. This agent will pick a couple states and send to specific doctors in specific towns. Okay? Typically, he likes to pick the smaller towns. People in small towns tend to talk. Words tend to spread a little faster in a small town, and that's what he does. But as you can see here, this is 12/1. This is in December. The agent did get out of college and went to summer with us and now back into school. But during the summertime, really exploded the business. But let me show you here. Again, he did a little bit of mailing here, just dabbling in the business a little bit. But you can see the dates over here. You can really judge your business by, again, how many transactions do you have a day. This agent looks like he's around, I don't know, maybe 10 or so, 15, 20 transactions a day. You scroll down to the bottom, 290. Okay, 290 transactions for the 15 days. Keep in mind these are all 15-day reports. So 300 here this month, probably did around 600 transactions. Okay, maybe a little bit more. That was December. Take this agent today, the most recent report that we got a couple days ago. Agent's back in school now, but if you can see this number here, 1506. Literally went from 290 to 1506, a 15-day report. About almost a 600% growth. Okay? Now, obviously, the agent was doing the business full-time because he was out of school. But if you look here, you got transactions every single day, and they're all over the country. Okay, that's a big clue on the agent if they're doing it online or they're doing it in the mail. Because when you do it online or in the mail, you're going to get transactions all over the country. Okay, there's not too many wrong ways to do this business, you guys. So think outside the box and be creative. Again, some of our best ideas come from the field force. Be creative on how you're building the business. Think outside the box. And I can't help but to talk about some of the great examples out there of companies that thought outside the box and that are flourishing today. Some of you have heard of the company called Groupon. What a great idea, and me and you can't walk into their company. You can't walk into Groupon and get a Groupon. You can't walk into Amazon.com, and the company called eBay doesn't even have their own products. And they're a multi-million-dollar company, and they don't even sell their own products. Think outside the box. Facebook wasn't created for what it is today. They bent with the times. They grew their business. So think about, how could I market this more effectively, or how could I get this out to the masses? You guys, 4 billion prescriptions were filled. You can get it on any local news station right now and talk about medications, and you're going to have the ears of 60 to 80% of the people that are listening. Everybody wants to save money on medications. And now with Obamacare, and again, this question comes up literally on a daily basis about Obamacare, what it's going to do to the prescription industry. Or more specifically, what is it going to do to our business? Well, it's going to flourish. This is why. When people get health insurance, and for some reason people think they get free insurance when Obamacare comes around, which is not the case, but there are going to be the uninsured today. They're going to be you're going to be have insurance come Obamacare. Well, what's going to happen is when people get insurance, they go to the doctor. It's the funniest thing. They didn't need to go to the doctor yesterday, but they do today because they have insurance now. So now they're going to the doctor, and what we found out is 25% of the population finds out they need a medication every year. That's a quarter of our population. Now, they don't need that medication for life necessarily, although 6% do. But 25% of the people currently are running to the doctor every year finding out they need a med. Well, when Obamacare comes and more people are insured, more people are going to be running to the doctors, finding out, guess what? You need a medication. You've got high blood pressure, high cholesterol, whatever. Well, the insurance going forward, and some of you sell insurance today, as you know, the deductibles on prescriptions are going through the roof. People aren't reading the fine print and buying these insurance policies when you have a $2,500 deductible on meds or even a $1,000 deductible on medications. Well, guess what? That means you got to pay your first $1,000 out of your own pocket before your co-pays even kick in. And typically what happens is the insurance companies, they know their numbers. By the time you hit your $1,000, you're in December. And guess what happens in January? You start all over, and now you're back to your $1,000 deductible. So our card is going to explode. So you definitely want to set yourself up for that. When everyone starts running to the doctor, you want them to have your card in their hand when they go to pay for their medications. Again, people ask us all the time, does the card work with insurance? It does not work with insurance. It's either or. So when someone goes in to pick up a medication, especially if you have a copay that's $20 or more, chances are 80% of those medications you're overpaying for. You definitely want to try our card to make sure that the savings is going to be under your copay. This caught my eye right here as I was talking. $184 medication right here. Client paid only $111. They saved $75 on this med. You're going to have these in your back office, you guys. It's great to print these out. Here's an $83 medication right here. The client only paid $37. You want to print these out and take them with you, like Dan says. Thanks to pharmacies if you can walk in, but also show them to the doctors. If you have a billing nurse in front of you or somebody who does the prescriptions writing for the doctor, show them. Ask them, what kind of meds are you writing? Most doctors write all the same medications. Find out, look it up on your back office, get a list here of it, and show the doctors as an example. Here's a $56 medication. Client paid more than half off. Medication was only $20. This is a great example right here. If you're looking at the screen here, if you see my cursor, let's say this $56 medicine, you had a $25 copay. So you're going in to get this med with your copay thinking, hey, I'm only paying $25. That's great, but with our card it would have been $20. Is that a huge savings? No, it's only $5, but it adds up. And look at this one right here. Here's a $92 medication. Client paid $23. Okay? Huge savings, you guys. Huge savings. You're going to see this on your back office. Make sure you guys don't email me, say, hey, can I get a list of these things? Agents will absolutely not give you a list of their transactions. But you're going to build this yourself. You're going to see it on your back office. In fact, we got some people on the call here that are brand new on their very first report, had a nice size transaction list on their very first report. Okay? All right, let me get into something else real quick. And again, if you guys have questions, we're gonna hold a question and answer here at the end. Let me try to get through this as fast as I can so I don't take up too much of your time. We're going to talk about buying up. Let me show you this real quick. Just because this question has come up every single day, this question comes up. People wanting more than 75 cents per med per paid transaction. Some of you got your starter kit, so you went up to $1, which is great. And I encourage you all, if you don't have your starter kit, that's step one. You want to get that today if you don't have it. But the value of buying up, and we have agents that do this literally weekly that want more, whether they're brand new agents that see the value in prescriptions, or they know they're going to be doing a lot of recruiting, or they're going to be doing heavy marketing of their card. Here's the current commission schedule that you all are on. If you got the starter kit, you have this plus your builder account. But here is a typical Hope Commission RX plan. So if you look there, everyone starts at the same place at 75 cents. Once you get to 100 claims, claims are prescriptions. If somebody walks in and fills 4 prescriptions, we call them transactions, but some people get thrown off because they think that if someone buys 5 meds, that's 1 transaction. Do they get paid for all 5? Yes, you do. So we call it claims here. 500 claims, you're at $1.25. 1,000 claims at $1.50. 5,000 claims at $1.75. Then 7,500 plus, you're at $2, which there's probably 3 other companies, you guys, that do what we do. There's about 15 in our space, but 3 that actually give agents like yourself an opportunity to make the money. And their comp plan goes up to 60 cents. That's a 6 and a 0. That's it. There's agents making $8,000 to $10,000 a month today that are now with our company off a 40-cent card. Okay, so there's companies out there 40 cents, 60 cents. There's still a ton of money to be made in the prescription industry. But this is a typical comp plan that you have right now. Now, some agents want to get to that $2 level, but they don't want to wait. There's a way to do that. Okay. As you know, the 75-cent agent gets everything free. We're not charging for anything. We give you the website. We host it for you for life for free. You get your 2-week reports on your back office. We do all the accounting for you guys. We do all your direct deposit that hits. All your training webinars that we manufacture, we give them all to you guys. It's all on our YouTube page, which is youtube.com/careerwithhope. Everything's there, okay? and then you're getting 75 cents per claim, and you go up your scale. Okay. Those of you who got the starter kit, you know that you got the marketing material that comes with that. More importantly, you opened your business builder account, which I don't think it's marked on here, but your business builder account is now open for you to train new agents, to recruit new agents. You get 100 cards in the mail that are blank, so you can write in your number. We get those out to you immediately, literally the next day. You should have them in about 3 to 4 days upon getting your starter kit. And now you're at $1 per claim. So you just jumped from 75 cents to $1. You skipped all that. You didn't need to get your 100. You're currently you're right out of the gate. You're making $1. Okay. So if you don't have your starter kit, that's step one. Now, a $1.25 agent gets all the free stuff, but we're going to throw in, and I'll show you what you do to get a $1.25 agent. But you get 10,000 cards with your HOPE number printed on them, and you get 5 display boxes, which some of you have bought those already. They're the plastic boxes that you put your cards in, and you put them on a counter at a pharmacy, at a doctor's office, urgent care center, wherever you're at. You get 5 of those. Okay. Now you're getting $1.25 per paid claim, and I'm going to show you how you can buy right up to that, so you don't have to wait. $1.50, same thing. You're going to get 15 display boxes. You're going to get 15,000 cards printed with your HOPE number on it, and it's $1.50 per paid claim. Okay. $2 agent, which is the top of the ladder here. You get all the free stuff. You're going to get 25,000 cards with your order. And again, this is something that we're doing right now. So I'll show you what I mean by that. You're going to get 25 display boxes, and you're going to get paid $2 per claim, okay, per paid medication. Now, how does that increase your income? Well, it's obvious. You're getting paid more per transaction, which means all those transactions you go out and get right now, if you don't have a buy-up card, well, if you're at $1 because you got your starter kit, based on just 5,000 cards, it's $100. That's a 2% transaction rate on your cards. It's extremely low transaction rate, but I want to be conservative with the numbers here. But if you had 5,000 cards and you had $1 per transaction at 2%, you got $100 you've made. Okay, you got 100 transactions. $1.25 agents, you get 10,000 cards, and again, you should always be buying cards if you're using the physical cards, okay? And you get your 5 display cases. Well, you're making $2.50 off your just a 2% on your 10,000 cards. If you're a $1.50 agent, we're going to get you 15,000 cards. Just on those cards, with a 2% transaction rate, you're made $4.50. Okay, and keep these numbers in mind. I'm going to show you what it costs to get started on this. At $2, you get 25,000 cards. 25 display cases, your monthly income just on 2% of those being transactions. Again, that number is extremely low, which I just showed you with those 3 agents there. You're making $1,000 right out of the gates. Okay. Dollar card, there's an investment of $28. Most of you have already got that. Okay. $1.25 for $500. That's what you get. That gets you the $1.25 contract, the 10,000 cards, and the 5 display boxes. Okay, you automatically start at $1.25 right out of the gates. $1.50, a $1,500 investment. And again, this investment is in you. The investment is not in our company. It's not in the prescription industry in America today, because we already know there's 4 billion prescriptions being filled. It's in you. Are you going to work your business? Do you feel comfortable with investing in yourself? And obviously $2. Now, I know we have agencies that are on the line here all over the country. If this is something that you're going to recruit to, that you want to build on your own outside of HOPE, we can brand everything to you. There will be no HOPE on the card. You can also recruit to your $2 card. I will help you with that, but you can recruit to your $2 card, which means if you have an agency of a couple hundred agents out there, and you bring on new people, their card can be worth 75 cents. And if you recruited them on your own card, we'll give you a block of numbers to recruit to. Well, guess what? You're making the $1.25 in the middle. Okay? So think about that. If you know people out there that have other companies, that have other agents, I don't care what they sell, you guys, this is a guaranteed sale. Okay? Getting an RX card in the hands of somebody who uses medications, you guys, is a guaranteed return on your investment. Okay? Here is the return on your investment. On a $500 buy-up, which is $1.25, just on the cards that we get you, that's $250 a month. Just on the cards that we give you. 60 days, you get your money back. $1.50, the $1,500 buy-up, you're going to make $4.50 just off the 2% of the cards we give you. You get your money back in 90 days, and then the $2 card. This $2 card, you guys, obviously, the agent that I was showing you that made the decision at 89 transactions and took it to 312, that's exactly what they did. And the agent that's at 1506, the college student, is definitely at a $2 level as well. That's where the real money's made. You can earn your way up there just as easy. We've had agents that do that. In fact, the example of the card that I showed you to start this, the agent, I think, had 800 transactions. They're working their way up. Okay, so I just wanted to show you that because we get a lot of calls, and I'm trying to sending emails back and forth trying to show this one by one. So this is a group. If you want to do that, if you know someone who wants to do that, give me a call or send me an email. You guys all have my personal number on the emails on the bottom. Give me a call, send me an email if it's something you want to talk further about. But if you're serious about your RX business and you're going to do this business, you certainly want to invest in your business, okay? Because it will get paid right back to you. In fact, we just had an agent that got started, I don't know, probably 2 months ago on the card. They already had about 500 transactions, and if you're on the call and you have 500 transactions, you don't have a $2 card, you're really missing the boat because you make your money right back. Okay, with the 500 transactions paid at $2, you're literally going to get your money back in less than 2 months or right at 2 months. Okay, so I just wanted to go over that with you guys so you know. Also, if you're out there and you have an insurance license, okay, we have a unique product that is nationwide, that is designed for Hope, that is designed to give people that are on medications, diabetics, high-risk people, life insurance, okay? And we have a couple different products. We also have a retirement product. Some of you own it now, but it's part of our Hope retirement plan. Some of you own it, but it's a 4% guaranteed return, and the interest is compounded. The 4% is compounded daily, okay? If you have a license to sell any of that stuff, you definitely want to get in contact with us. There is opportunity all over the country, and we certainly need more agents. I know most agents do gravitate towards the RX because it's a simple business. It's easy to build, and you can make a lot of money. But we do have other products that are out there. If you notice on the back of your card, it says if you'd like affordable life insurance, please call us. We get calls all the time, and we need agents out there. All the calls that come in here, Hope doesn't do anything with them. We give them to agents. We farm all of our stuff out. Hope does not compete with our agent base at all in anything. In fact, our card, we don't compete with any transactions or anything. We always farm it out to an agent. Those of you on the call have gotten calls from us saying, hey, somebody called in. Please help them out. Okay? So if you have a license, write this email address down. It's mike@hoperxcard.com. You want to send him an email. Again, that's mike@hoperxcard.com, or just call the 800 number, the 800-870-9096, and send him an email letting him know that you do have a license and this is something that you want to look into, okay? And we'll get you started on that. All right, so at this time, let me open it up for questions real quick. If some of you have questions on the call, let me go through real quick. We have a lot of people on the call, so I hope that you're listening right now because I'm going to call your name for those of you who have questions. If you have a question on your computer there, just raise your hand. There's a little box there for you to raise your hand. I know some of you have typed in your questions. If you could just raise your hand so I don't have to read through all these. I'll ask that, okay? Steve Baxley, if you're on the call. I'm not sure. Steve, are you there? Okay, he's on the call, but I don't think he's got audio. He has a question that he walks into some doctor's offices and sees a no soliciting sign. Randino, Dan, if you're still on the call, could you answer that? What do you do if you see a no soliciting sign before you walk into the doctor's office? Are you on the call, Dan?
Yeah, I'm right here, Kevin.
What do you do?
I totally ignore the sign that says no soliciting because I'm not soliciting. I'm not selling anything. I actually went to the local police department and explained what I do, and I asked them if that was considered soliciting, and they said no. You're free to do what you're doing. So the no soliciting sign is basically for people that are selling. So it doesn't bother me at all to walk in and talk to the doctor's office about what I'm doing. I'm not selling anything, so it's not soliciting.
Awesome. Great answer. So, if there's a sign there, just let them know, hey, I'm not selling anything. If somebody stops you in a building, I know some of us in the Los Angeles area go through high-rise buildings. Anytime you do that, you start at the top and work your way down. Don't start at the bottom and go up. They'll catch you pretty quick. But you just let them know, hey, I'm not soliciting. I'm stopping by, dropping off prescription cards that save people up to 85%, and ask the person that's stopping you if they'd like one. All right, looks like Art has a question. Art, if you're on the call, go ahead and ask your question. Art, are you on the call? All right, we'll get back to Art there if he still has a question. Let's see here. Mark Chuckway or Chuck K, if you have a question, go ahead. Mark, are you on the call? Not sure if people are on mute themselves or not. Let's see. Anybody else have any questions out there? Art, are you there? No. All right, Lorraine. Lorraine, you have a question? If you're on mute, you guys make sure you take yourselves off mute. Lorraine, are you there? All right. One more try on Steve here, and I think maybe we probably covered everything. Maybe you guys don't. You guys got it all. If you do need anything else, you guys, you're welcome to give me a call, send me an email. Email is going to be your fastest and quickest response, you guys. We're all over the place. We're in and out of meetings. We're meeting with organizations and businesses, so we're bouncing in and out of the office all day long, every day. So if you have something that you need, send an email. It's the best way to get a hold of us, and we'll get back to you. But again, if you're a licensed agent of any kind, life and health, or either of those, just send us a quick email letting us know, and we'll let you know what kind of opportunities we have in the state that you're in. All right, so I want to thank you guys for this call. I'll try to get close to 2 o'clock as I can. Again, any other questions, give me a call. I appreciate you guys' time, and let's get out there and help other people every day. Thank you much, and have a blessed day.